Good morning, everyone. We're just running our B4 CoPilot Pro version 8 here, going through running it in conjunction with our B4 Wave, one of our new indicators in our series. Guys, this is one of our indicators we're going to release here with our new Black Friday sale. We'd already taken 2 contracts out here. I'm going to go ahead and just move that on up. That's what I would normally do. Anyway, guys, we got on our screen our B4 Wave and our B4 CoPilot Pro, those of you who are familiar with it. Also in the background here, we got our B4 Footprint Pro. As well as on this chart, I just got it hidden. Broke out of a squeeze here. Price was squeezing in. You can see the wedge broke out. We're moving up. We're at the top of our brackets now. You don't see that on our chart. That's one of our other indicators on my supplementary charts that I'm looking at. We're at a potential resistance. So in this case, seeing where I would be at here, I'd probably tighten up a little bit, get up under here. I'm going to zoom in here. That's one of our advantages of B4 Footprint. You can really see what's going on inside the candles here. This is a high potential resistance area. Typically, I'd tighten my stop up. See what we're going to get. Oh, it looks like it's going to break out of it. Have a lot of upside opportunity. We're in a long breakout. Okay, so that's good. We are looking at the overall position of the trade. We have at 68.17, 85. We were in a long breakout position. We have a target at 68.44. I don't have that here. It's on a supplementary chart with my algo that I look at. We have our B4 algo, which is a roadmap basically for the day. We like to figure trade. We have certain trade setups that we take typically every day. This is our breakout buy. We're looking for a target of 68.44. So looking at our long target 1, Walshy. Okay, yeah, absolutely, buddy. So I'm looking at our algo on a supplementary chart. according to our version points of control, from the 30-minute charts, we should see a little resistance around 38.50 or so. According to my, is that a Y pattern? Yes, a Y pattern breakout that I drew. Where am I at? We're almost to where it wicked at. It was almost to my second target, 33.75. Where we should expect a little resistance as a measured move. Back up in here. Also, let me zoom out of that a little bit. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. So I know she came in a little bit later. This is our B4 wave. You'll see these are pullback entries. It's designed especially to help us with our pullback re-entries.
Where's the wave?
You see this dotted line here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the extreme stop loss.
Yeah.
This is your first line of defense, and this is your pullback re-entries. You can see, let me go back to the beginning of it. It called the bullish entry here. And let's say you had two trailers running. And you wanted to do adders or take away, had still one runner, or maybe three at this point, two at this point, added two. Depending on how you want to strategize that. Re-entry.
So what does PV stand for?
Pullback. Looking at our B4 here, I use one of my famous trading terms, high on the hog. We're a little high on the hog right there. We're a little overextended, overbought there. It usually goes to around positive 3 up here, typically on using the 210 or even the 220 bars. You'll see it get there, and that's usually in your extended zone. We haven't got, it looks like it could have a little more push here. Our midline of our lower B4 is still facing up. Ichimoku wise, let me look at it Ichimoku wise with the Shoyu. Looks like we could have a spring here, continuation bullish. Everything's looking good bullish. So we may make it all the way up to our long target 1. It has the potential, but we do need some put here. Here we go. let's see if they digest some of these gains first. Get this recalibrated here. It would be healthier for the move. Let's see what that's going to do. They're loading some bulls in there right here. Buyer said no, none of that. But it would typically be healthier for the move to stop out here, pull back some, come back to this trend line. See what it's going to do. We're getting extended. Starting to squeeze. Problem is when it comes down here, and you can see here, there's a lot of volume right here. So whenever it tries to pull back here, it keeps on running into this wall. It may push it on up. Ichimoku says it's going to have a launch to the upside. So it may push all the way up to our long term. Yeah, it's going to do it. I believe it's going to do it. To our long target 1, which is at 68.44. Let me come in here, and just because we don't have it on this chart, let's go ahead and put a target there. Again, guys, we're forward testing our newest version of CoPilot Pro in conjunction with one of our other indicators, our new B4 Wave. One of the new things that we've did with Pro,
order filled,
is now it also picks up the indicator. You can see here it says B4 Wave. It fired here inside of Pro, inside of the engine there. This was a delta divergence signal. So I have two signals from our order flow engine. This is our order flow library right here. And I have two signals that I particularly like. That would be our unfinished auction and our delta divergence. We've broken down below that barrier, that wall I was talking about right here with the footprint. So I'm thinking if it comes down, it may come down to this area here. Let's see, what would that look like here? 6. That would look about right here, which would be catching where it found support in this area. That makes sense. And That's an inflection point. That's a key inflection point. You look here, there's resistance here, there's support there. So that's a key inflection point right there. So we might expect it to come down there. I was looking at the volume profile, not the volume profile, rather the footprint, which on the 30-minute, it is a volume profile. But yeah, that's where we expect it to come down. So we'll go ahead and I usually don't move this a whole lot during demonstrations, but in this particular instance, that's what I would do normally in this trading environment. I'd probably pull that down, make sure that trade was a good trade. It's a pullback trade, so you know, you got to be a little careful with those. It's counter trend. I'd at least pull it into place, make sure it's profitable, paid for the trade. And our automated strategy, or ATM strategy, if you're not familiar with it, NinjaTrader has a pretty nice ATM strategy mechanism, and we take advantage of that with our system. So we're locked in right now. The trade's paid.
Stop
no
filled.
matter what, trade's going to make a little money.
Stop filled.
That took us out. That's all we'll probably expect from a pullback situation. Let's look at where we are on the lower B4 indicator right here. And we come down to about our zero line. So that's where we expect it to bounce, a potential bounce on a pullback. It's come back to your zero line. So now I'm looking for the bulls. I want to break this trend line, get aggressive to the upside. Ichimoku wise, going in looking at my shoyu on my supplemental charts, we came down, we touched the Kijisen and Tinkinson where they're paired. Now traditionally, whenever Kijisen and Tinkinson are paired, I look at the high point, this previous swing high, in this case, or swing low, which either situation you're in. And I know that it could go co-equal as high as it is above right now, down below the Kijisen as well, and still being standing. I'm thinking we're going to find possibly a base here, some support here. Let's see though. All I know is if I was going to manually do something, I probably wouldn't manually enter short right here. I'd be a little hesitant. I mean, it may come on down, but I wouldn't be a seller just jumping in something. Chikou is still above the candles. Chikou is very relevant to what the overall trend is. I mean, it's still selling off here, but looking at our 30 minutes set up here. Excuse me. Came down to our low volume node area. This is our parameters, our value area. Came down to the bottom of our value area. That is an inflection point. Look right here. You can see where we stopped out there. That was a got a pullback signal there. Now let me demonstrate something here. I'm going to go ahead and do a buy chart. This is one of our things with our
Order submitted.
Trader section in CoPilot Pro, we can just go in and put a buy or sell order real easily on our chart. It has a lot of smart
Order filled.
analytics. There it is. It entered me in. Now, of course, this wasn't a confirmed entry from our system. This was just me demonstrating how you can use price action analysis and use our Pro Trader. Let me get that right. Use that to initiate a live trade if you would like. Of course, we are simulated this morning. We are just forward testing. In this particular situation, if I were live trading, I wouldn't leave that whole risk there. I would look at my P&L, which I know I'm not supposed to look at our P&L, but I would probably retain a little bit of money for the day. So worst case, if it did come and take me out, at least I'd have $1 or $2 to show for the morning. Starting to work out though here, looking good. Looks good here, Ichimoku. What I show you, the viewer here can't see it, but Walsh, if you look at your chart, you'll see that the Shoyu dots are kind of for the Tenkens that are kind of curving down. We want to see those things start turning back up. We'll need to get above here for that probably to start happening, above our 68.32.25 area. Right now, if I were live, I would, being that we're coming up on this area here, I would probably go ahead and just guard in profit, make sure I paid for this portion of the trade. We see a delta divergence in an unfinished auction fired right here. So that gives me hope we're going to push through this VPOC, virgin point of control. I'd go ahead and move that up a little bit here, just in case we did decide to take a flip. But there are some, because that's an unfinished auction, there are some buying orders still resting right there.
Stop filled.
It's taking them out now. Took them out. I'm glad I moved in there. Top heavy here, we're bearish. Our brackets rotated to the upside. They just did that. Just noticed that. It's on our supplementary charts, giving us some free reign potential to the upside all the way to 68.47. Right up in here. Putting our dynamic support at 68.26. Actually, I'm looking at the Chicow trail, and if you'll notice, the Chicow is over the price curve, but you'll notice that the price curve is basically flat. The cloud's going flat on the 3-minute chart, and we're not above we got to get above the Tinkinson and start trending above the Tinkinson before we really get strong bullish here. Other than that, it could coast sideways here. And if it coasts sideways, then we're going to be seeing it probably. I'm just going to draw these. I would expect it to squeeze. Don't know where that bottom point's going to be at. We'll just draw this as a
Order filled.
So B4 wave and delta divergence both triggered that. As I was saying, now CoPilot Pro will determine the third-party indicator to give it the name. So you know that you understand that, you know what the signal that was. Not particularly happy with this entry. I still think that we're going to be squeezing here. I don't think this is breakout time, party time yet. So I think this may take some drawdown here. So I'll have to determine, if I were live here, how much of that drawdown would I be willing to take? Would I be willing to risk a drawdown all the way down to here to gain this? Or would I rather be on the safe side, and which I would probably rather do, limit my exposure and try to get more opportunity on the upside pass there. It's probably what I would do in this situation. We have to close over this point of control to really buy into the upside move. Right there at 68.32.25. We got to get above that. Now our show you dots are looking a little bit more favorable. If you look at that wall, you see how it's on it's on our reference chart, guys. It's not here. But it's another one of our indicators that we have. And it shows that there's some potential to slightly upside. Now looking at the Chicow Trail, we're at a potential launch point as well. We're at a previous high. The Chicow is on a 3-minute chart, is at a previous, almost to the previous high point, which means it's another likely area to launch from. But again, we could have, if you look here, we could have a couple more zigzags in here in this pattern. So you'd have to make the decision whether you want to take, and I didn't have time to do it. You can't usually talk and trade at the same time. Hard to do. Seize that opportunity to lock in that little bit of the paying for the trade, which is probably what I would have rather have done here. We are squeezing here. Let's see what it's going to do. No matter what, I'd probably limit exposure here. Keep me at around $800.
Stop filled.
Yeah, wasn't a bad estimate. About $800. Keep you right there. Let's let this play out a little bit more here with this pattern. Let's squeeze in here. That would be the way to trade this manually. Let it do its thing here. This is too small to be trying to scalp out. Too tight of a range. Go ahead and put a buy chart.
Order submitted.
right here.
Order filled.
Our lower B4 indicator. Fire the buy signal. Again, that was a manual decision there. It's something that you'll have to. I'll bring that down till it breaks me about even. I won't let it take me negative. In fact, tighten that up a little bit. That's probably break even right there, flat right there. Did some aggressive buying right here. You can see right there. Let's see if it's going to hold up. The measured move for this breakout is 68.45. If we were to measure this as a measured move, as a breakout, it would be at 68.45. The stop would be down here. Regretfully, I don't want to take that risk for the stop. The stop would be down below this point here. Using a traditional P pattern breakout.
Stub filled. Still fine-tuning this wedge here.
Guys, I'm not going to be much longer here this morning. I might wait and see what the breakout does here. I have some business to attend to this morning. Again, cheek out is above the candles. The cloud is the Ichimoku cloud, the Kumo, is turned to the upside. The cheek out trail strategy, those of you who are familiar with that have been followers of us. Right now, the cheek out is just hovering above the price curve, which is a flat price curve, which kind of expect it to be flat. We look for the highs and lows of that previous curve there to understand where the potential launch points are. The overall expectation is to the upside. How long it takes to get into that position, we'll have to see. But we are above the Tinkinson and trending barely above the Tinkinson as an Ichimoku standpoint. So all that leads to the upside for now. But it's kind of weak right here. We gotta let this tension build a little bit. We gotta let this squeeze get more pronounced. Now, if I hadn't have manually intervened here, this would be up to probably around I think it was up to 1100 earlier, 1200 or so. I can't remember now. But it would still be pretty high. Okay. Should get that.
Order filled.
That's the B4 wave, our new indicator, overlaid onto CoPilot Pro. I'll let that assume full risk on this trade. I'm not going to move the stop loss. Chicow trail looks right for the upside move. Little squeeze pattern here. I'm bullish bias to begin with. I'm just looking for that sweep to the upside is what I'm looking for. That's why I didn't get real excited on this when we broke below here. This is where the core amount of volume is right here at 68.30, so that's our potential support. We're coming up on a potential resistance right there at 32.25. If we can break above it, yeah. It's recognizing it. Let's see what we're going to do. So we got a support here and a resistance there, basically, if you look at it that way. Let's see how it's going to interact here. Makes sense to pull in and guard and potentially get another bite on that long. So we'll do that right here. We'll just guard there. Second test of that resistance area. Looks like it's pushing through it. We can go ahead and walk the dog there. Move that on up. Probably adjust something like that. We're right at a session high. That's indicated here. Give it a little room to play out. Hold the core position here.
Stub filled.
This will hold you at around $700 for the day with the core position.
Stub filled.
I was off $800. Now you need to make the decision whether you're going to re-enter above your high here. Looking at the Ichimoku, it still looks pretty weak until we make another, let's see, 3, 6, another 15, 20 minutes. I'm just counting candles, 3-minute candles. Looking at my Chicow trail strategy. Looks like we still have some weakness for a little bit. Looking at the Kumo drifting sideways, the Tinkinson and the Keegeson drifting sideways until some of them get excited and start moving to the upside. Well, I expect them to the upside. Until they get excited to the upside, we're just stale here. Just looking to see if there's a bigger situation in play here. All right, again, I'm going to demonstrate how we use our Pro Trader here. I'll put a resting order here.
Order filled.
It would have got me in anyway, so that's good. Had an unfinished auction. The bad part about this particular trade is I'd have to guard underneath here.